Hello, I'm Czardus, and let's play City Skylines 2. Welcome back to my Beginner's Guide series. Our city is now getting a bit bigger, and it's at a point where we're starting to see a little bit of traffic developing, and we still want to keep growing though. So we're going to focus on some quick and easy traffic fixes that you can use when you are just kind of seeing that traffic develop and what to do with that, and then we're going to grow some more. But before we get into that, be sure to check out today's sponsor, Apex Gaming. There is a link down below in the description and in the comments probably, and it will take you to where you can get some great deals on custom PCs, especially the Czardus branded computers. Use the code Czardus at checkout to get a discount. All right, so anyway, we're going to come in here. And the first thing we have is we've got traffic building up here. And that's because a lot of people in Aspendale are using this Olive Street as a way to get through because they want to come through this way and then go over here and get on Daffodil instead of going over that way. And that's fine. We can accommodate that. We have the space to kind of work with that. And we have this unique building here, which I really like having in that location, although I'm just going to move it a tiny bit. I'm going to turn off snapping. Just wanted a little bit more on the corner here. So we're going to get that as close as we can to both streets there. Yeah, I like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to build a one-way around this. So I want to bring this out like that. And then we're going to connect it there. And then I want to bring this down here like that. And then I want to make this a nice curve. So I'm going to double click there to make a node there and double click, say, here, make a node there. And then I'm going to delete those two things, go to a simple curve and come in here until it shows me the guidelines. And then go like that. And that is going to give me a nice little curve there and give people another way to get through there. Then we're going to come in here and we're going to make that a one-way going that way. And I think we'll go ahead and make a one-way going that way, which is going to discourage people from even going left into that area. Should encourage them to go down there. And then we're going to make a three-lane asymmetric road there and there. So that should make things a little bit smoother going around here. And we've got a traffic light here now, which should be fine to have one here, just because that should make things pretty smooth. And I think we might be able to, nope, we can't quite get a roundabout there. It would be great to have one there, but we can't. We can get another three-lane asymmetric road here though. And in fact, what I'd like to do is get a node in here, and then we can get a turn lane on both sides of that. So that should make things a little bit smoother, and I'm not quite sure why we go down to an asymmetric road there. I think we should probably keep this as a 4-lane road here. Yeah, and that should help all of that a little bit. I mean, it's not going to completely solve the issue, but it should help because now we've got that one way there. We've got some people who are turning this way. I'm not really sure why. And now we've got a little bit of a backup here, but that, again, that's a one way, so that should flow through pretty well. And the other thing, I guess what we could do, another thing, is I'm going to come in and we're going to make these all stop signs, and that should help the traffic keep flowing. And it's kind of ironic because you're forcing people to stop when there isn't traffic, but when there is traffic, you're not forcing them to wait for the traffic light to change. So you can see that is starting to clear a tiny bit, and we can also see we've got a lot coming in here. I'm going to go ahead and make this a 3-lane asymmetric as well. And that should just help get a little bit more vehicles in here for going through this whole space. And there we go. We let some time go by, and that is flowing much better. So the other thing we can do is now we have a little bit of space in here. We could get a little park or something. A small playground would fit in there. Can snap that like that, and then we can come in and just get a few trees around it. Kind of make it a nice little park. Nice little simple thing. Add a little bit more leisure for our town. Now the next thing we want to do, oh, we've got more traffic over here to work on. So this one looks like it might be caused by a traffic accident. Though this side is the side that is backing up. And again, that is our new bridge that we built recently, and there isn't going to be all that much that we can do about that. And the same thing with some of these. We're going to see traffic coming into the city through here and then elsewhere as well. We could make this a little bit wider. We could add more lanes because that is always helpful, right? That's what all city planners say is more lanes, please. Okay, we're going to make it a 7-lane. And we've got a weird node in the middle there. I'm going to pause it. We're going to take out these 2 nodes. And then we're going to bring this in. And that is a huge road. I think we'll just do 5 lanes. So we're only going to add 1 lane here. But that should help get a little bit more traffic through this spot. We've got 2 small plazas there, so we can't do too much there. But this can, I think we've got, yeah, at least 1 car wanted it to go that way. And then the rest can come through there. So that should get a little bit more through that area. And the same thing over here, we're going to just add a little bit, well, like 1 more lane here. Make this a 3-lane ramp. Especially because there are 3 directions that people might want to go through here. So that is useful as well. Now, we wanted to continue adding people. We have 8.7%, and I want to add in here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to keep the trees here, and we'll have that be a little bit of green space. So that will kind of add just a little bit of space there for a little bit of greenery and things like that. I do want to see the contours. So we've got quite a bit of hills here, and that's going to be an issue. But I wonder if we could get some sort of unique building up here. We already have, looks like a castle up there. And maybe we want to keep that there, because I don't think I want any other landmarks way up here. Yeah, I don't think any of them would be suitable here. I mean, maybe this, but it wouldn't really be fitting of the theme of our city. Ferris wheel would be pretty cool way up here, but I don't think we need it there. And then this one also, I feel like that should be downtown. Tourist attractions, maybe the observation tower. Be very big and expensive, although we've got a ton of money now. Bronze statue would be cool there. Maybe like a true medieval castle out here. But again, I don't know that a medieval castle would be fitting of this area, because we are fictionally set in Australia, so of course they wouldn't have a medieval castle. They might have ruins like this, like maybe it was some... actually, I don't think we want ruins up there. Let's put the Botanic Garden up here. I think that is the best choice. Yeah, I think that would be really pretty up here. We're going to take this out. And maybe I should have just moved it somewhere, but I think I want the Botanic Gardens up here. Like this. Yeah, a beautiful spot for a nice little garden here. Now we just have to get a road up there. And what I think I want to do with the road, so that the issue we're going to have is the slope here, of course. If we come down like that, oh, that's actually only a 10% slope, but it is one straight hill. So what we want to do instead is, first of all, I think I want to get a little bit more space here. So we're going to level that off just a little bit. Actually, this side, we're going to soften around just to make that a little bit more stark. I like that. And then we're going to bring the road in front here. And then we're going to bring it down. And the question is, how are we going to bring it? I think I want to come along this way. So we're going to soften over here now, although that is pretty strong there. We're going to bring this out a little bit and then soften like that. Okay, and then this road is going to come down here, and that is going to be a very steep slope there. So we've got a really steep slope to begin with. We're going to buy another tile here. We'll buy this one. And actually, we're going to buy that one too. Yeah, and then we can aim to get a road down that way. That would be the goal. Now, of course, coming down, even that is a 17% slope. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to find spots that we can have a nice switchback. And I'm going to say that we're going to come here. We're going to slope up like that. Let's see how that turns out. That's still 14%, so we need to bring that up a little bit. So this is kind of the point where you just kind of test things out. So now we've got that. We can go here, click there, and slope up like that. And this is going to take a bit of terraforming to get some of this in place. So that is an 8% slope going down there. And from here, we are going to need to come back, I think. And once we have this road, we can then build some roads that kind of match it and kind of build out the slope a little bit better. So I'm going to work on that off camera. Okay, so now we've got this built up here. And what I want to do is I want to come in and we're just going to soften the terrain in between the different slopes. And that's going to help make this whole curve, or like the switchback, look really nice. And then what we can do is just kind of smooth this out on these sides. And the next step will be to decide what to do with the rest of this whole hill. So now we've got this arterial going up, because that was an arterial that came through. And so next we can come off and build slopes along the rest of that. But what I think I want to do is make this bigger and just smooth that all just a little bit, although that is kind of not quite doing what I want it to. So what we're going to do is, I think, see, now this is going up way too much compared to what we have. I think I smoothed it too much. I think what we'll do is we'll level there and soften around like that. Yeah. Actually, I think I'm going to redo this one segment here. So I will show you how I did this. What we're going to do is we're going to go back down to 100 as the brush size, and we're going to look at this. And this spot, we're going to go down 2 of the darker contour lines. So we've got 1, 2, and we're going to right click there. We're going to level there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to slope the terrain. We're going to right click where we're going to end. We'll slope up like that. Just to get a nice slope there. My mouse is moving around a little bit. And then we're going to right click there and get a nice slope coming up like that. So then we've got a spot that we can bring our road with the complex curve, or continuous curve, I should say. And we're just going to bring it around like this and in. And then, of course, we might need to double check this spot here. Yeah, that is a little bit wonky. So we're going to take that piece out and then come back with the simple curve and just get a nice little curve there. So now that looks a bit better. I like that. We're going to go back and we're going to soften the terrain again here. And the same thing over on this side. Just kind of soften that a little bit. And now that switchback, I like that much better. Okay, so now we're ready to figure out what we're going to do with the rest of it. And like I said, what we want to do is we want to keep this here. So I think what I'm going to do is bring another arterial along this way. And what we'll do is we'll follow this slope here. And that should be pretty smooth. And we'll bring this in like that, I think. And then we'll get a bigger roundabout here. So now we're ready. I'm going to go in and unlock roundabouts for 1 point. And we're going to go ahead and get a medium roundabout here. Just to make that be a little bit smoother. So like anybody coming this way still has a pretty sharp turn there. But for the most part, anywhere that anybody wants to go, although, yeah, they can come in here. They have to go pretty round there. I wish the game would have made that a little bit better. Maybe if we make this even bigger. Let's take that out, and that's too big for that. I guess it doesn't want to do those. We'll keep the medium there then. I could have made this a little bit of a better curve, but I do really like that little bit in there. And then I also like that it did the little bit of cutting here. But you can see people are already taking that path, and I like to see that. So now the next thing we're going to do is come in and do similar pathing with the medium road. Just follow these darker contour lines as our starting point. And then over here, we're going to kind of end here. Yeah. And then we'll bring this one in here. This is all going to be pretty steep, but I think we'll be able to get some roads. If we do this, that's 15%. That's too much. But we might be able to get some elsewhere. So if I come in here now, and actually that's going to be too much stuff there. I wonder if we can get another roundabout here. And bring a road out this way. We can. Yeah. Bring this right in here. I think I was on a dark contour. Yeah, I am. Okay. Usually, if it's not too steep, I'll skip and do them in the middle. But here, I think what I want to do is I want to get a road here. That's 18%. Again, too much. But if we bring this down like that, that's 10%. We can live with that. That's a nice little curve there. And what I want to do then is we're going to bring this up this way. Because that way we can bring another road over here. Maybe bring this up. Nope. Let's do it. There we go. Yeah, I don't know that I want one up there, but I guess we'll just leave it like that. I like how this looks so far. Alright, so now the rest of this I'm going to do similar to that, but I will do it off camera because I've shown you how it's done, and then we can do it faster. Okay, so now we've got this all filled in here, and of course we've got traffic building up over at the port, which isn't ideal, but there isn't too much we can do about that. I think what we might try is we'll take this out and try and get this road to be a little bit further here. And we'll bring the wider road, actually we'll make the road wider all the way through here. And then what I want to do is I want to do a curve this way and then another curve that way. And that's just going to bring this a little bit more around here, but they're all pretty much turning in here. I just wish they would go a little bit further. And what we could do is we could force them to do a loop with a one-way. That might work. Actually, what we could do is might be able to do a 4-lane divided here. Just to force them to go down there, turn around, and then go in elsewhere, which now they're going to go in there, Yeah, that's going to make it all flow a tiny bit better. I mean, we're still going to have people having to wait in line there, but at least the people who are leaving don't have an issue leaving. We've got 2 doors being used. And that should also give them more space to line up for that. But anyway, zoning for this. I think because we're so close to the downtown west area, I think we want to have medium density here. And especially because we're close to industry here, we're going to double check air pollution is going in the other direction. What about noise pollution? There isn't too much there. Neither is there ground pollution. So we're in a good spot that we can get a lot in here. We do need a different district name here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to bring the port district is going to come down to here and not include this whole area here. But I will bring the port all the way out here now. All the way out to the actual port. Yeah, that should work. So that is port, and then in here we want to get a new one. We're going to turn off snapping. We're going to go from the highway over to here and across the park to the water, and then to the port district here, and just kind of go along that. I have snapping off just because it is a tiny bit easier and faster when you're drawing these districts. So now we've got an area here, Florence Crossing. I think I'm going to just call that Gardens Hill or something. If you have a better name for it, let me know. Maybe what we'll do is Florence Hill. Just kind of using the generated name and getting it a little bit nice in there. Okay, so then, like I said, we're going to get medium density. I think I want row housing on here. I'm going to see how it spawns in here and see if I like how it looks. I think I will. Yeah, we're going to go with that. And just get a ton of it in here. We're going to need some schools, though. Florence Hill is going to need its own elementary, I believe. We'll go ahead and put that over here by the park. And we'll make it bigger. We're going to assign it right away. Give it a health center. Give it the extension wing and a playground. Do the full gamut for that one. And we'll call that Florence Elementary. Yep, and then I'm going to let that fill in and we'll see how it looks. And while we're doing this, unemployment is going up. So, of course, I'm going to be zoning a little bit of offices along here. Just because I think not on the park side, but on this side for sure. Because that'll get us a little bit of jobs in there. We'll get a little bit of commercial over in here. Yeah, we can have that on the park side here. But we'll leave the park open over there. And that'll just give us more jobs in this area and help keep that unemployment level a little bit lower. So I'll be doing that. I'll add people and then I will add jobs either along in this area or I'll expand a little bit. I think we have a little bit of space. No, we don't. We need to build out a little bit more there, but we are looking really good right now. So one thing we need to do while we're at it is we need to add a bus stop because we've got this bus line here for Cedar Street, but we don't really have it stopping near this residential area. So we are going to add a bus stop, shelter, here, and then we can come in and grab our bus line and drag the route to that shelter, and that just adds the stop there, which will help a little bit there. I also think we should get a bus along, well, I mean, it's going to be hard because we want to get a bus route up here, but we don't really have an easy way for walking. I think a lot of the people in here are probably going to end up having to drive wherever they're going. And I've been thinking about these buses, and I think what I do want to do is we're going to get one on this arterial because, I mean, we can always fit a few more stops in downtown. We're going to bring it, and then we'll come in. Let's see, those are both used, so we'll get one here. Probably don't need those both, but we'll get them there anyway. And then we'll get some here. We'll get a stop there. And then we'll get a stop here. And a stop here. And a stop right at the top. And then we'll come back a different way. So then we can just come in and get our line built. We're just going to connect all of these all the way down the hill. And then I think what I want to do is get another one. While I'm here, I can show you up through this road just to kind of connect things. And then it can connect here and it can just be there and just kind of be a shuttle back and forth. And hopefully that will work just fine. So this one is going to come here now and then back out of downtown. And then of course I'm going to pause it before I complete so that I can come in here. And that road, what is that road called? Sunset Street. Oh, that is a fun name for that one. We are going to find the new route here, 11 Sunset Street, and we're going to come in and we're going to assign the minimum number of buses, and we'll double check these while we're here too. All that usage is fine. Very, very good. That is fine. That is fine. Okay. And we can unpause, and like I said, we're going to come in here on Sterling Street, this one is called, and we're just going to put these in here and just get a few here. Wow. Yeah, look at how much traffic we have on that road already. Tons and tons of traffic here. But we can get this line in, and then hopefully that will cut down on some of that. And we'll bring this up here and then come back. Although it doesn't need to go, well, yeah, it can go all the way up there. It'd be nice if I could get one that goes over towards the industry too, actually. And I can turn around there, pause, and we're going to change this, and that was Sterling Street. I'm going to come down here, bus line 14, it's going to be now 12. Oh, we're going to call this Florence Hill, because we already have a Sterling Street. Game is not always the most original at figuring stuff out. Oh, and we're going to go in like usual and come in here and get that to be the fewest number of buses. And like I said, I think, oh, well, we've got fires up there. Let's get some fire coverage here. Yeah, we don't have very good coverage out there. I think maybe it's time to get a nice big fire station. So we'll come in here and go to fire, and we're going to do fire station, which will give us a nice big one that we can put in. And I think we'll put it out in here. Yeah, this actually right here will be a good spot for it. Oh, wow, that is bigger than I expected. We'll put it over here. Yeah. Just co-op a little bit of this land here, because then we can have space that we can expand a little bit. What is this one? This one is garage extension. We'll go ahead and build that. This one is training facilities. We'll go ahead and get that. So training facilities will make them more efficient. Disaster response, we can get one of those units in. Say over here. Well, let's put it back over there. And then a helipad as well, just to make that a full service fire thing. And that should hopefully give us better coverage up on the hill. Yeah. Okay, so then I want a bus line, one more in here, that's going to connect, say, over here. Stop in here. Just one is fine. And then we're going to bring it over here so it can transfer there as well. And I want it to come in this way. And we'll stop here. So this one isn't going to go too far, but it will connect a little bit of stuff. And then come back this way. And that should help a little bit with some of this. What is that one? That is Wood Street. We'll get that down to the least number of vehicles as well. And that should really help that whole area. Still at 10% unemployment, so we can go ahead and, I mean, ideally we'd have more jobs right now, but I'm going to go ahead and put the people in first this time because I really want to see this fill out. I think I'm going to get some more offices along the arterial like we've done elsewhere. Just because I think that will, provide a little bit more jobs and fill this in nice. Just be a nice little spot for some of that. I'm hoping that we will see the traffic go down here. We still have a lot of people here. What I'm going to do is make this a 3-lane asymmetric going into the roundabout. And that will just give them a little bit more. And then the other thing is I'm going to make it 5-lane asymmetric going in here. And on all of those sides, because we've got a lot of ways that they could go through that roundabout. Yeah, and that'll just give them lots of lanes that they can work with and kind of fill that in better. Okay, so now we're at 11% unemployment, 11.4. So I'm going to add more industry, actually. I think we'll double check the profitability here, but yeah, they're all about the same. And I think we've got the roads and things built already for more industry over here. So we're just going to go ahead and plop that down and then see that go and get that in. And of course, I broke this recording into 2 parts, and overnight they put out a new patch, and so the graphics have been able to be improved a bit. I'm getting about between 20 and 30 FPS, and it just looks amazing. So I'm going to keep it at here because I can play as City Builder at those frame rates, and I think it's fine. But anyway, we're going to keep filling this in as jobs come in and stuff like that. And now we've got another traffic jam here that we're going to kind of solve the same way, where we're getting a 5-lane asymmetric road here. Go ahead and get that in that direction to give them a turn lane. And we'll give a turn lane here. And then we'll get a turn lane here as well. And that way we're just getting a little bit more, although it's not quite a turn lane because we've got this in here. So what we're going to do is we'll come back here and we're going to add a node in the middle here. And then we can make this asymmetric by clicking and dragging the other way. So that makes this lane on the left here a turn only lane, because now there's 3 on this side and only 2 on this side. So the one on the left turns into a turn only lane. And here we might try to do the same thing because we've got another lane there trying to get out there. This one is going to be a little bit more challenging because there's not a lot of space, and we want to make sure that there is stuff going on there. So maybe we get a roundabout here just to get that flowing pretty well here. And that should help clear up some of the traffic here because we've taken that traffic light out. I want to keep the traffic light here, although what we could do actually is to get another one here. So now we have 2 roundabouts right in here, and that should make this whole thing flow pretty fast. And why don't we just throw in one more over here? But this side is not going to want to have a roundabout because of the way we have the lanes there. So that one we're not going to be able to do it. But this side, it should be improved. Now we've got a backup up here again. And a lot of that, I think, is due to people moving in because we just finished zoning all of this hill. And up here, I put a park in. And so I want to, first of all, what we're going to do before we fix that, or I want to put in trees is what I was trying to say. But before we do that, I'm going to just smooth this out a little bit. So we have a little bit of a cliff up there. Soften it on that side. And a little on that side, but that way it's like a big cliff there. And then what I want to do is all the way down here, we're going to go to about 50 meters. And I want to have a uniform cliff for each level of this. And in fact, here I'm going to come in and we're going to take out a little bit of the zoning there because it looks bad that it's going in like that. But what I want to do is just try to clean up and make this a little bit smoother by going in like that and right clicking and then left clicking to level it at more of a uniform spot in between some of these buildings. Make sure that I'm doing it pretty much only at the level that the buildings are at. Because over here, of course, we want to have a smooth spot there. But that will just start to make this look a little bit better. It's not going to be great. There's still going to be some spots where it looks a little bit wonky, but actually, you know, maybe, I mean, okay, yeah, here's a spot that I want to fix a little bit. Anyway, I'll do this off camera. Okay, now I feel like this is much better. And so we're going to come in here now and just get some vegetation in here. We'll do what we've done before. We'll get some linden trees. And we'll get some oak trees up here. And we'll get some hickory. That's my preferred blend with these original trees. Oak, linden, and hickory. And then maybe a little bit of spruce as well. Just to fill that in a little bit, and that will make the whole garden up there much prettier. Now, the next thing we want to do is we will check on here. We've got 10% unemployment. Very good. Let's check some of our bus lines now that we've had a little bit of time. Sterling and Garnet, both of these are ready for more vehicles. We'll double this to SIPs. And then Garnet, we'll double that to SIPs as well. And the next thing we'll have to do is check and see our bus depot. That is pretty much all that we can get. So I think we're going to need to build another bus depot. We've got one there. I think we'll get another bus depot out this way somewhere. Yeah, just so we've got one on each side of the city. Let's try and tuck it over in here. So we've got this arterial that will eventually go straight out and be more of a bridge. And then we could come in over here with a road and bring this in like that. And that can be this bus depot. That is not going to fit as many buses, or as many. It's not going to be as big as the other one, but we'll be able to get 1, 2, 3 additional garages in there. So now this can have 55 vehicles. So between the two of them, we should have enough that we can have our bus lines have a lot of buses. And in essence, we really want to just watch these. Rosewood is getting near 100%, so we'll put this up to 16 buses. Rosewood is one of the most busy ones, it seems. Yeah. Look at how many passengers are on that line. 700 SIPs. That is a lot. Let's see where that line is. Oh yeah, that one is the one that goes across this bridge and like connects pretty much everything. At some point, we might want to get trams or other things, and we'll look at that in a bit. We have a garbage issue, though. Garbage has backed up a bit. Let's go ahead and check on that. Garbage processing. The landfill has availability. According to that. But we've got everything stored, and we can't process it fast enough. So that is an issue. I think what we'll do is we'll come in here and find out what we can do. We can get an incinerator plant, or we can get... Yeah, actually, we're going to go ahead and do that. Unlock that, and we'll get an incinerator over in here. It's going to be a pretty big building, though, and it's going to cause quite a bit of pollution, medium pollution all around. But let's put this down here. Yeah. You can go in here. We're going to turn off snapping. And we'll get it over like this. And we can put the road right in here. Oh, the road goes over here. Okay. And we want to bring it like that. And then what we'll do is we'll connect the power line. It has a little substation here. Cable connection. Feels like it should be a big one. We get in connected like that? No, it must be a little one. Okay, well, we will just connect this over like this. Actually, that is going to need to be at a substation. Here's a bigger one. Okay, I see. So what we want to do then is I want to get this road all the way over here. We want to connect there. That's right. Sometimes, you know, after having played Cities Skylines 1 for ages, it can be a little bit confusing how some of the things are different, because a lot of this game feels similar, but then it is a little bit different. We can't quite get this through here. Okay, what we'll do is we'll go underground. There we go. So our incinerator is now connected to the power grid. We can get this, and that will increase the capacity. Then we can get garbage truck depot to get even more garbage trucks out collecting. And we can get storage extension as well. That is going to take some space, though. Put several in here. That has the benefit of giving us additional XP as well, because we are getting closer and closer to that next milestone. So now when we check our garbage management, you can see we've got plenty of processing speed. And so everything can get stored at the landfill and then processed by the incinerator. But of course, again, we've got a ton of air pollution going that way now. So that is one thing to keep in mind. And that will get more trucks out to collect more of the garbage and really make things work well. Now, unemployment is still about 10%. So we can get more people or more jobs in. And what I want to do is get more office in here. And what we will do with that, although we do need to check here, education levels, we have 10% are highly educated. So that should be doing okay. In this spot, what I want to do is I want to get a football field in maybe about here. Yeah, as if it's like a fancy field. Yeah, that's like a medium stadium, I'd say. You know, not anything especially big. Should get a soccer field somewhere too. That is going to be a little bit harder to fit down in here, but I think we'll just leave this one here. And what we should do then is we're going to work with the grid that we've got, because the ground is flat here. So what we will do, we'll just extend this. So this one, and that's actually a pedestrian street there. I want this to come out here. We're not going to do the continued well, I guess we could get that as a pedestrian street. And then we'll get a regular road going down like this. And we need to get the key farther out. Okay, so now we've got a key that goes all the way out here and just ends there, which is a great spot, I think. And then what I want to do is we'll bring a road, so this can come all the way down like that. And that fills that whole space. So now we can get some offices in there. This will come out. See, this, we've got a tighter grid now, and this is 113 by, yeah, like 112, I think. And we'll get that. That is like right at the base of the hill. That is beautiful. And then that can come in like that. Yeah, and then we've got just a little bit of space here that we can come in and get some high density offices in here. Although what I think I want to do is we'll get a little bit of commercial in there. Get these over here, and actually that we have as high density residential, but we don't have any demand for that, so we're going to go ahead and just get some high density commercial in here as well, just a tiny bit, and then we'll get some low density around here as well, and that should fill that area rather nicely. And as part of this development, I think what I'll do is we'll come in here and we're going to get vegetation in this area too. We'll get some big brush. We're just going to fill this all in here, and it's going to be a nice green space. Get that oak. We'll get some spruce in here. We'll get hickory. And then we'll get linden. This is going to be a very nice, thick forest right in here. And then we can get a pedestrian path as well. Now, we don't have a ton of options for where the pedestrian paths could go, but I think we'll put it near this school here. We'll make it curvy. We'll curve it down the hill like this. Right to there. And then we'll get, yeah, I think this is going to be a fine spot for a crosswalk too. Put a little traffic light there just for the crosswalk, and that will, ooh, you know, while that building is missing, let's get one more up like this. I'm going to take this, no, I'm pushing the wrong button. I want B for bulldozer. What I want is I want this path go up to the edge of that road, and then we're going to bring another one up like that. And I just want this to come all the way up, say, to there. It did not quite connect. There we go. Yeah, so that will help a bit. So we have a pedestrian path that can come all the way down there now. And that will fill in there. That will get all of this built out pretty nice. And of course, that football stadium on the waterfront is going to be kind of nice. I wish that it could be like a bigger stadium and just really fill that out. But I think we'll build out here too. And this will be like a low density spot. So we're going to get a bridge over there pretty soon, but not quite yet. And there we are. We reached the next milestone. So that means the episode's done. Be sure to click on the video on the screen. It will take you to the next episode in the series if it's out. If not, it will take you to another video that you will enjoy. I guarantee it. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. Take care.